Mush.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the chicken nuggets, right?
Oh, yes. I didn't make that connection, even though it was literally the topic at hand.
Yeah, Jamie Oliver, like, showed a bunch of kids how McDonald's chicken nuggets are made, and basically that pink slime or whatever they called it. And the kids still were like, I'm gonna eat chicken nuggets!
Yeah, at the end he's like, do you still want to eat chicken nuggets, or do you want to make my fried chicken recipe that takes a half an hour for your mom to make on a busy school night? And they're just like, we want the chicken nuggets!
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, kids.
Not necessarily pink mush. Some of us makes chicken nuggets from whole chicken. Well, yeah, but McDonald's does the pink mush, and that's really what we're referring to there. But yeah, you wouldn't do that when you make them at home. Not really. I mean, you could bust out a food processor and try it the same way McDonald's does, but I think they're so much better if you use whole cuts of chicken.
I'm also, like, not against the pink slime, though, in, like, just basic theory. Buster, leave it. He got spooked by, like, music plus that knob at the same time, I think. Leave it, Buster, it's okay. It's the same theory behind hot dogs. As long as they're not, like, literally grounding up beaks and whatnot, it's just finding good uses for things that otherwise would have gone to waste.
Yeah, I mean, they are offcuts of the chicken they use, but... And it can be, you know... I wouldn't say it's the healthiest option necessarily, but it's not immediately bad either necessarily. It's just processed, right? So, you know, you got to keep all your intake of processed food down, but...
There are worse things in the fast
There are
food
worse
world.
things, yeah. Yeah, hot dogs, bologna, yeah. Yeah, it's all stuff that, you know, not the best for you, but you can have it now and then. Look at all that bacon fat. We got tons to use. We might use a little bit today when we cook up the broccoli. But otherwise, this is likely... Actually, let me put this in a container that we're going to actually use to store the bacon fat. That would be a smart thing to do. Let's not make dishes for the sake of making dishes.
I have ingrained this in Andrew.
He has. Well, Stuart's usually the one who does the dishes. He's so wonderful that he volunteers doing most, if not all, of the dishes after a stream. So since he's doing most of the cleanup, I have to listen to him when he comments about, how about you do this so there's not any more dishes? And I'm like, that's a smart thing to do. I am happy to do that. Your dad would joke they were pig lips and cow bones and chicken toast. Actually, I'm going to let that fat cool just a smidge though, since I'm putting in a plastic container. Okay, so we got the broccoli for the side of our biscuits done. Garlic grated for the chicken sausage. I think we can actually get started with making the doggo biscuits now. The bacon is done. So, let's see here. I think I need... How much for the dog biscuits? About 4 strips of bacon. So let's cut this up nice and small, as small as we can get. I think he appreciates the food I cook most of the time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, bacon is typically way too fatty and has very little nutritional value for dogs. But, you know, this is his special day. He doesn't get this every day.
He got a birthday cake from scratch last year, and so this year he's getting bacon.
Yes. Actually, last year he didn't get anything unless your parents gave him something, because we were actually traveling for my birthday last year.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And we were away for Buster's birthday, but he was staying with Stuart's parents. So I don't know if they did anything special for him.
I think they did something for him. They gave him like a bone or something.
Yeah.
You're almost making like bacon salt over there.
I know. I want them to be nice and small, especially for Buster's biscuits, just so the flavor gets distributed nicely and he doesn't get any huge pieces of bacon, again, because they are, you know, it's not super healthy for him.
Yep.
So I'd rather him get a small dose each biscuit he has. So, very nicely crumbled there. Alright, now we're going to bust out the food processor to get this dough together. That's so good. Your pride and joy comment on one of your food photos on Imager was, how did you get the filling not to fall out when you cut it? It was your derby pie, and you've gotten the same comment on your fruit pies. That one is easy. You par cook your fruit filling before putting it in the crust. Ooh. So it gets more firm when it's baked off in the pie. That's a cool tip. I know it's often recommended for blueberry pies too. Probably most fruit pies, I would imagine, because they have so much water in them, you want to get that to cook out before you put them in the pie. I'm sure that helps firm them up as well. Go. All right. The oven needs to be on for these too. How warm? 350. Alright, so for his treats we need the oats. That's 1.5 cups of rolled oats. It's going to be an oat-based dog biscuit. I feel like oats must be healthier for dogs than flour, but I don't actually know that for sure. Some dogs have a sensitivity to wheat as well, so there's that. Buster. You think you would like your family's tradition of sausage, cheese, broccoli? Or what am I saying? Sausage, cheese, biscuits. Yeah, I would definitely. And we're kind of making something similar today, but I would be definitely willing to try your family's version of it. Buster, off. Thank you. No! Off!
You gotta stay down, little man. Our house smells just way too good right now.
Yeah. There's probably bacon fat sprinkled all over the kitchen at this point. Mm. Oh, corned beef hash, nice. Ooh. Alright, so there's the oats, 1.5 cups. We're gonna do 1/2 cup of the shredded cheese. Come on, out the way. Alright, and then the bacon too, yep. So I probably didn't need to be super exacting with my cutting of the bacon. It's going to get chopped up again in here, but oh well. Okay. And process until it's a crumb-like consistency, and then we're going to add 2 eggs and form it into a dough.
Oh, that's a lot of egg.
It is a lot of egg. Using pre-baked potatoes instead of fried. Made the potatoes last night. All you have to do is cut them up and fry them with the corned beef. Might add some evil peas for extra veggie. Peas are good. You gotta give peas a chance.
Hey, that's my pun.
I got to it before you could say
Ah.
it. Alright, let's get these chopped up. Oh, you love peas, but they're high in nickels. They're evil for other reasons. Okay. You get a pass. I feel like a lot of folks in this stream, though, aren't a fan of peas. Or not even in the stream. I feel like I meet a lot of people who are like, ew, peas. But they're so good. Okay, looking pretty good. I'll give him one more blast. Alright, now I think we're ready to add the eggs. I mean, peas can be icky if they're cooked too long. It's very easy to cook them too long. So, you know, I could see it certainly being, if you've never had peas cooked well, that you would not be a fan. But in the right situation, they are awesome.
Yeah, if you season them well and occasionally toss them with small bits of other things, they can be pretty good. I was thinking like onion or bacon, which, you know, have that effect on most things, but still.
Yeah. Mr. Rev didn't like peas until you made your split pea soup. Converted a few peeps to peas with your cooking. Nice! Alright, so we're just going to mix this until it comes together into a dough. That's good enough. I don't think I want to roll these out on the cutting board though, so I should probably move all this out the way. Give myself a nice platform here.
Need a hand?
Just no room in this kitchen sometimes.
Buster, hey. That can be really hot sometimes. Do you need me to clean this off or anything?
Yeah, just get that cleared off and I'll move the cutting board over there.
Oh, you're not rolling it out on the cutting board.
No, I'm not. It's too sticky. It would make it even harder to roll out than usual.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let me wipe this down a little bit just to make sure it's nice and clean.
Mm. I really like what you've done with this entire plate of cheese. Yes.
You realize it is just cheese, right?
I know, I'm just standing up here eating cheese.
Uh-huh. Well, don't eat all of it.
It's really good.
Need some of it for the other biscuits.
Okay.
That was a mistake, moving the cheese closer to Stuart. Okay. So I think at this point we just flour, roll out, cut out, and bake. Yep. And they're going to be about a 1/4 inch thick, so pretty thin. There's no leavening or anything in these, so they're not going to rise too much. I don't know what I was looking for. Oh, the rolling pin. Away for now until I need it. Don't think I do today. All right. Off, please. Thank you. Yay, your migraine is gone. That's good to hear. 8 days. Oof. So sorry, Rev. I'm glad you're feeling better, but that's tough.
I just got back in the room, but that sounds tough.
Are you able to sleep when it's that bad? I don't think I've ever had a migraine. I feel like I would know if I've ever had a migraine. I know I've had a bad headache before, but pretty sure I've never had a migraine. But it seems like something you wouldn't be able to sleep through.
Thankfully, I haven't had too much of an experience with migraines in the past either. Coffee and caffeine knocks Rev out.
Okay. Well, it's good that you have something to help with it. These are very sticky. Oh, like super sticky.
Need a hand? You're just trying to cool yours down.
Just need a bench scraper to help me get it off the counter. That's gonna help for these. Bench scraper is your best friend in a lot of situations. Definitely in this situation. I still remember the time that Stuart was making regular biscuits.
Oh gosh.
Yeast risen biscuits, and it was also a very sticky dough.
Andrew was Andrew was upstairs doing something, and I was downstairs with dough just completely stuck to my hands, and I was like, Andrew, help!
Yeah. And I used the bench scraper for that too.
I got quote-unquote on tilt, as they say. I was not having a good time with those biscuits.
Yeah, this dough is like extreme. I'm not even going to keep using this
rolling pin
because it's just sticking to the rolling pin, so I'm just going to use my fingers here to flatten this out.
Off, Buster. Hey, Buster, Matt. Matt? Lay down. Lay down.
Okay, I think that's probably good. And we'll use the bench scraper to get it off the counter if we need to, which I think we will need to. It still feels a little thick in the center.
Buster. Matt?
Okay.
Good boy.
Stuart printed off these lovely little dog bone cookie cutters for me.
Let's see how well they work. Ooh, seem to be working okay.
So far.
Well, those are perfect. They're like slightly larger than a milk bone.
Yep.
Is that the bigger or smaller of the two?
The bigger.
Oh, really?
Yep. Since these are so fragile, the bone shape is maybe not quite as well defined as it could be.
Nah, they're good.
But I think it looks enough like a dog bone that you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's a dog bone. But yeah, bench scraper, definitely. Bench scraper and slightly damp hands. Keys for working with this sticky dough. You can probably tell, you know, the fact that all I put in these is egg, oats, bacon, cheddar. These could be eaten by people too. They are people friendly as well.
They're just not going to have any salt on them.
Yeah, I will say there's no salt or sugar in these though. I mean, the bacon is a little salty, the cheese is a little salty, but it would definitely taste under-seasoned to a human palate.
You know what? If you have a bunch of leftover like bits that you can't do anything with, this would make really good cereal.
Cereal?
I'm joking. It's not that salty. It's just like...
It's not sweet either, though. It's just neutral.
Cereals are sweet too, huh?
Well, not all of them, but, you know, they are typically a little sweet. There's typically some salt and sugar in them, as opposed to absolutely nothing.
That's true. I forgot there's cheese in it, too. A cheese-flavored cereal. I don't think anybody's tried that since the 80s.
That would be a little weird.
So we just finished, well, not we, but you just finished another gaming stream recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I am glad that you had a decent first impression for Mass Effect.
Off.
I'm glad you had a decent first impression with Mass Effect.
Yep, I enjoyed it. I felt like I did terrible with the shooting sections.
Nah, you were fine.
But I was expecting that.
No. It's interesting. Did you kind of like the whole... Well, I don't know how to describe the whole other thing. I mentioned briefly that BioWare also made Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Yep.
Mass Effect is kind of like a Star Wars game, but with late 2000s shooting game sensibilities, and with the IP having its serial numbers filed off.
Interesting way of putting it.
Knights of the Old Republic, though, is a very weird PC game because its combat system is literally Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. Hey, it's Carlos.
Hey, Carlos, how are you?
We're making dog biscuits for Buster's today. Or for Buster today. So this is dog treats for our dog that have bacon and cheddar in them. And then we are also making person treats for us, which are US style biscuits. We have made British style biscuits in the past, but these are US ones we're making today.
Yeah, kind of similar to scones.
Savory scones.
Savory scones, yep. Biscuits are kind of their own thing, though.
Anyways, to make a long story short, Knights of the Old Republic's combat is all mouse-based. You literally click on the thing you want to die. You can pause combat and rotate the camera around to get a better view of the scene and like switch between characters and be like, hey, you need to heal for your next action. And it plays out in real time, but it is literally just like 6-second rounds of D&D combat.
Interesting.
So I think you might like that game more if you like Mass Effect's like RPG stuff and exploring cool sci-fi worlds. But if the shooting stuff doesn't click with you, then go back and do Knights of the Old Republic.
Good to know.
Also, when they say Old Republic, it takes literally 10,000 years before the entire Star Wars canon. So
wow. Yeah, that's pretty old.
It is literally like, hey, we needed the sandbox of places for Jedi to run around where someone reasonably wouldn't want to run into a Skywalker.
Alright, I think this last one, not quite enough material here to use the cutter, so I'm just going to form this one into a rough oval shape.
This is oatmeal, eggs, bacon, flour, or bacon, cheddar. Was there flour in it?
Nope, it is just oats, egg, cheddar, and bacon. That's literally it. So a human can actually eat these. The thing is, though, there's no salt and sugar in them. So even though you can eat them, they're not going to have much flavor. The only flavor that's going to be in there is going to be the bacon and the cheddar, because that has a little bit of salt in it. So, you know, that'll be good. But it'll mostly be kind of like, I don't want to say flavorless, but yeah, basically flavorless to a human palate.
Maybe we should try that malformed one, though.
We could. I mean, we could definitely give them a try. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, salt can be bad for humans at a certain point, high blood pressure and all that. Same with sugar, you know, too much sugar can be bad for humans. It's the same thing for dogs, but because dogs are so much smaller, it takes much less salt and much less sugar to get to that point of being unhealthy. So it's best just to keep the levels low. Like, don't add salt, don't add sugar. Just use whatever comes naturally, and it makes it a little bit healthier for the dog. Plus, I don't know if they have the same kind of sensation of taste as humans do, whereas, you know, for humans, salt enhances all flavors that we are able to detect. I don't know if it's the same for dogs. I don't think salt really does anything for them, like, flavor-wise. So there's really no point in adding it, except for the, you know, nutritional value of it, and that should come from the dog's food. You don't really need to add it if you're making your own treats. Alright, so these are going to go into the oven, and I don't think they take too long. Let me double check the recipe. Yeah, about 20 minutes, if you could set a timer for me, Stuart. And I'm going to clean up a little bit, because I've made a mess, and we're about to make another mess for the human biscuits. So let's try and not double our mess. MSG. You know, I think same thing. You wouldn't want to add MSG because it is a salt. So probably wouldn't be good to add it for dogs. But also I don't think it would necessarily add anything for a dog's palate. You know, for us it adds a savory flavor. I don't know if that would be the same for a dog. I don't think they have the necessary...
How would we know?
Receptors. I don't know if we do know,
Can
honestly.
you give a dog a treat and be like, did you taste like a meaty savoriness to this dish even though it was vegetarian?
Yeah. No, I mean, we've really only just discovered the umami flavor for humans, so I don't know what it would take to detect it for dogs. It's almost like you'd have to analyze a dog's tongue, the flavor receptors, to see if it has something that would detect MSG or glutamates. And I don't think that's possible.
No, you would measure their salivation response, probably.
But that would happen with any kind of food that they liked, though.
Yeah, but you can, like, measure it per milliliter or something. I don't know. I set the timer for 15 minutes, by the way, since that little toaster oven can have wonky times sometimes.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll check on them.
Can always add on an extra 5 minutes.
The recipe says 350, and I set it to 325 to adjust for the fact that it's smaller and is a convection oven, so hopefully that'll make the time pretty close, but we'll see.
Yep.
Good to check. I didn't realize this dough would end up being so sticky.
Yeah. I guess certain applications of the oats can be kind of sticky.
Yeah. You know, it's just egg and oats. So, it makes sense that it was sticky. I just didn't realize just how sticky it would be. Alright, I'll clean up all of the...
Sorry for not jumping in and doing a ton of cleaning midstream.
No, you're good.
I did not want to get in the way. And in my defense, standing up is lame.
Standing up is lame. But yes, the human US style biscuits have the same base flavors, cheddar and bacon, but much more complexity on top of that compared to the doggy biscuits. So probably a bit more interesting to watch the biscuits we're about to do as opposed to the biscuits we just did. It is interesting though how simple it is to make your own dog treats at home.
Yeah, I feel bad. There was a brewery that Andrew and I used to like going to that would make dog biscuits out of the spent grains from the brewing process.
Yeah.
And we were always like, oh man, when we get a dog, we totally need to bring them here. And then when we got Buster, he was a handful as a puppy, and it was like a brewery that was across town. And then COVID hit, like, 3 months after getting Buster or something. And they didn't make it through COVID, and so he never got to try the spent grain biscuits.
Yeah, I wish more breweries did that. It seems like a really easy way of using up your spent grain. But I guess they must have other ways of using it up.
I feel like some breweries like trying to use up every part of the brewing process. So I feel like I must have seen it somewhere else, but...
Well, I'm sure they do. But they might have other, like, partnerships with other companies to use their grain for other things.
Yeah.
Because I doubt they just throw it away. At least I hope not. Thank you for the host, Alex. I appreciate it.
Hey!
Y'all should go give Alex a follow, by the way, if you're not already. Does some awesome food and drink streams as well. Doing the alphabet cooking right now.
Ooh.
Working his way through the alphabet to cook a dish for each letter. What is next? Is it you that's next, Alex?
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
The dreaded urchin stream.
What else begins with you? I'm literally blanking right now. I don't know if that's just because it is difficult or because I got streamer brain right now.
Udon.
Udon works, yeah. Ooh, homemade udon would be an interesting challenge. All right, cool. I think we got enough stuff cleaned here that I don't feel too bad about moving on and making more mess.
The bottom of that knife blade thing was pretty wet, by the way. I don't know if it's gonna leave, like...
Oh, this?
Yeah.
I dried it off.
Oh, okay. I just saw you put it on a floury counter, and I'm like, it might become a sticky mess.
Dried it off a bit more. All right, so for the biscuits, we're gonna do a standard flour base. We're gonna do flour, baking powder, baking soda, sugar, salt. Those are the dry team, so we'll get those mixed together in the food processor first.
Okay, Mr. Brown.
Buster, this is why I need you to stay out of the way. You sneak up on me, and then I accidentally step on you. How much time do we have? 7-ish minutes. Let me rotate the dog treats. Make sure they get evenly cooked. All right. All right, so I think we're doing 2 cups of flour for this recipe. Yep. is a half cup measure, so there's 1 cup. There's 2 cups. I guess you could just do like an umami stream. Just do a few things that are heavy on glutamates.
Did you see my,
Yeah, that's what made me
okay.
think of it.
I feel like umami bomb or umami burger or umami XYZ
Yeah.
would be the thing I would go to. Unless I was in an udon mood. I think you can get like vacuum sealed fresh udon in a lot of Asian grocery stores, so it wouldn't be the hardest thing to do at home.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna make udon the focus of the stream, ideally, if you have the equipment, you'd want to make it yourself.
Maybe. I feel like I'd be flustered enough trying to make a good broth.
Well, that's right. We do have a little bit of baking powder still to use up. This recipe calls for a whole tablespoon of baking powder, I think.
Whoa.
That does seem like a lot.
That's 3 teaspoons.
Yeah, it does say tablespoon. I think I actually will use 3 teaspoons because I want to make sure I get as much as I can out of this old.
My subliminal messaging works.
I think this baking powder might actually be a little bit old, so I'm just going to throw the rest away.
Yeah, that tracks.
This is very clumpy. I don't want our biscuits to fail because of old baking powder. Oh yeah, that's much better. 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And now we need some baking soda. How much baking soda, please? 1/4 teaspoon, much less. Salt, I think, is next. Yeah, salt and sugar. So 2 teaspoons of sugar and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. One teaspoon of sugar. 2 teaspoons of sugar. I'm gonna refill that at some point.
Do you need me to do that now?
No.
Okay.
Just trying to make a mental note. Just saying it out loud so I don't forget it, but I probably will forget it. I don't use salt a whole lot.
There's like 4 armfuls of things in our pantry between us and our sugar. So
Yeah, exactly.
If Andrew needed more sugar now, it would have been a whole production.
Yeah, it's not that urgent. Is that everything? That is everything. So let's pulse this together, get it mixed up. I'm actually just going to put it on low for a minute. Oops. Yeah, that's...
Let's get the lid on first.
Cool. All right. Oh, a little bit of cheese made it in there. Well, that's fine. What do we got here? I'm gonna add the cold butter and mix it up until it kind of looks like sand. Maybe not quite that evenly distributed, but wow. Get that mixed in. Actually, before I do that, let me cut up the bacon real quick. Oh, that's Buster's dog biscuits too.
Get the biscuits first. They might need another 5 minutes.
They are pretty close, but yeah, let's give them another 5 minutes. So let's see, I think I need 6 strips of bacon for this, or does it says like a weird measurement. Yeah, half a cup, which is like, thanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6 strips here.
Isn't that all of them?
No.
Oh. Oh, right.
Sorry, I'm doing this off camera, y'all.
We can never forgive you.
Slightly bad planning on my part. Should have realized I needed to cut this up.
Nah, you're fine.
Before moving it out of the way.
So it gives people something to look at. I'm building another keyboard. I've fallen down a DIY hobby. I built a keyboard about 2.5 years ago now. And
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was right at the start of COVID.
Oh wow, I thought it was more recent than that.
And it started double typing the letter I. And rather than troubleshooting that keyboard, I'm just like, this is a great excuse to build another one. And I'm trying these low profile, like laptop style keys that are like kind of an in-between of normal keyboard keys and like truly weird butterfly switches. And my LEDs haven't come in yet, so it doesn't have that cool glow, but I got the first half built today. And Andrew's been very accommodating with me being like, hey, I'm gonna go off into the corner and play with really hot metal for a while.
That makes it sound a lot cooler than it actually is.
Hey!
No, soldering is pretty cool. I think that probably is about half a cup of bacon. I think we're pretty good there, but I'm just gonna be a dork and put it in a measure anyway, just to make sure.
Speaking of being a dork and the keyboard story I was on, I had some part that was the size of a rice granule. It was a little surface mount diode, and it flew out of its package and just landed literally somewhere in the office. And I was just like, oh no, it probably fell into our unusually long carpet.
Unusually long? I wouldn't say it's unusually long. It's carpet.
It's not shag, but it's close.
Okay.
I don't know. It was this tiny thing, and it was completely gone. I looked all over my desk, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I walked downstairs while Andrew was getting ready for the stream, and I'm like, hey...
Buster, no. No, leave it.
was like, hey, I need to borrow the hard drive magnet we keep on the side of our refrigerator. And sure enough, I ran a magnet over the carpet for about 2 or 3 inches and immediately found this tiny black speck that I was looking for.
Luckily you found it.
I still cannot believe I managed to find that thing. They gave me the exact number of parts that I needed.
Yeah, so if you lost it, you would have needed to buy another one.
Yeah, I would have had to buy a 100 pack off of Amazon for one of those little diodes. Hey, it's time for the butter, and it's time for Hoju.
Hoju, hello!
Birthday! For a second, Hoju thought it was Sunday.
Yeah, well, you know, normally we do stream on Sunday, but today it is Saturday because Buster's getting groomed tomorrow.
Yeah, he's getting a birthday coat.
He's getting a birthday cut, so we're doing it today instead. But it works out well because it's kind of halfway between my birthday and Buster's birthday, so we get to do treats for both of us. That's pretty good. I'll do a couple more pulses. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, cool. I'm gonna move this to a bowl now for the rest of the crap. Speaking of Buster's dog biscuits, they should be done now.
Oh.
Yep, they look done.
You want to show those off over the oven?
Yeah. There they are. They don't look significantly different from when I put them in the oven. There's a slight dark brown color to them, but there they are. They're oats, cheddar, bacon, and egg. That's basically it.
Wow. We're gonna have quite the biscuit collection in our fridge for a while.
What was I doing? Oh yes, moving this to a bowl. They do look pretty good, and they are entirely human friendly. A human could eat them if they so desired.
They would just be totes bland. Andrew and I have been very bad fridge stewards recently. I feel like we probably need to do a deep cleaning with the non-stream time we have tomorrow. We've got so many little plastic containers.
We've been working our way through them.
We have Buster's turning 3.
Yes, 3 years old. Okay, and then we're gonna mix in the bacon and the cheddar to this.
Buster, you're 21 in dog years on this Monday.
He is.
That means you could have a dog beer and not it being a sneaky cheat thing.
And 3/4 cup of the cheese. I might do a full cup because I live dangerously.
Ho, 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 ho.
Dangerously cheesy.
Oh my goodness, that's a heaping cup too.
Dangerously cheesy.
So Hoju wants to see the birthday doggo.
Oh, well, why don't you go ahead and do that then for me, because I need to keep moving on these biscuits.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's butter in there, so trying not to keep them too cool. Hey Buster, Matt. Good boy. Stand. Sit. Spin. You don't understand that command half the time. Stand. Sit.
Shake. Oh, good boy. Nice to meet you.
I feel like he only gets that if it's part of a rhythm that he expects.
Yep. Wait. Nose. Okay. Nice job. Good boy. Lay down. Good boy. He's a good birthday dog.
Good boy. Alright, so I stirred in the cheddar and the bacon. I'm going to do some buttermilk.
Buttermilk.
3/4 of a cup of buttermilk.
Upside down cake. Or Ukrainian food. Alex is trying to think of U words for his next alphabet cooking stream.
Yes.
Upside down cake could be fun.
I've never made an upside down cake. Typically, because the upside down cake everyone always talks about is pineapple upside down cake, and I'm not. I mean, I like pineapple, but I don't know if I want to make a whole cake with it. Plus, it's typically garnished with cherries, and you all know my feelings on cherries. Ukrainian food could be good. That'd be a lot of fun. How's your weekend going, Hoju? Okay. This is sticky dough day, apparently. Of course, I was expecting that for the biscuits. Biscuit dough is typically pretty sticky. I'm going to turn this out onto the cutting board, or not the cutting board, the counter here, and bring this together into a cohesive dough. Out of the way, measuring spoons. I don't need you right now. Alright, I'm actually gonna... I'm handling this a lot, so I have warm hands. So I'm gonna put this back into the bowl and let it sit in the refrigerator a little bit, just to let it cool down again. I'm also gonna add another splash of buttermilk, because it is very dry. You're now awake after your stretch of work, and you have your stretch of 4, double day, double night. Oh my gosh, Hoju.
Gosh.
I hope you get a nice long break after all this. Alright, a quick splash of buttermilk. Move this off the spatula. Okay, let me work that in, and then we'll chill it down a little bit. good. All right. Off the spatula. And into the fridge. Just for a couple moments, just until that can get rehydrated. Or hydrated and also cooled down a bit. Okay. This will give me a minute to get the oven preheated and also get the baking sheet prepared again, because right now it's got dog biscuits on it.
Oh no, Hoshi just made me flustered.
Why?
Said if your hands are too warm, hold my hand.
Oh.
He's heard I'm a cool dude.
You are a cool dude.
And you're really hot.
I think you have warm hands too, though, don't you?
I would say I have average hands.
Okay. You've obviously never made biscuits. You would know the temperature of your hands if you ever made pie crust or biscuits.
Last time I made biscuits, it was a minor disaster, so...
It wasn't a minor disaster. You just weren't used to such sticky dough.
I had to call in backup. Gosh, Hoshi got asked to come in tonight, but they said no.
Good. Must be a busy baby season this year.
Does that toaster oven need to be preheating, by the way?
Yes, yes it does. It needs to be preheated to 450. Pretty hot oven. At least compared to where we were at before.
You could probably put those biscuits over here if you just put the whole silk pad.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't have the fingers of steel that you do. Oh. Did it without me.
Did it without
Nice
you.
job.
Because of the aforementioned fingers of steel.
Yep. I'm putting that pot holder back in the drawer.
Okay.
I just wanted you to know where it was.
Okay, we might need to do 2 batches of the biscuits. I definitely do not want to put the big oven on today. It's so hot here in Texas. So I don't really want to fill the kitchen with hot oven. But because it's smaller, we might need to do 2 batches. We'll see. It doesn't make a ton of biscuits. It makes 10, I think, but that's 10... 2.5 inches, which is pretty big. Actually, I should get some cutters out too to make sure that we have those prepared for when we roll out the dough. Ow.
Or Alex says, grill the biscuits.
That would be a fun experiment. I don't think I have the... I don't feel confident enough in my grill skills to do that yet, though.
So, we knew we were making dog treats, and we probably... You could probably make them a little bigger than that.
You think so?
Aren't you going to put a chicken patty in them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would make them...
The next step up is
That
this
big.
one.
I would make them the bigger of the two.
The bigger of the 2? Okay. So that might make less biscuits then, so hopefully...
Hopefully it's not overboard, but...
I feel like that's a good sandwich size.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So, we knew we were making dog treats today, and then we wanted to make human treats afterwards.
Yep.
And we were racking our brain trying to think of ways to turn biscuits into like a full meal. And making it into an egg sandwich was immediately the first thing both of us thought. But we did breakfast for dinner last weekend.
And it's not like we can't do breakfast for dinner twice in a row, but we're like, what ideas can we come up with as an alternative?
So first we thought about putting ham on them. This ham is very tasty.
Yep.
But on a recent stream we were chatting with Noodle, and she mentioned that in Singapore, McDonald's there has fried chicken patties. And we were like, ooh, those sound tasty. And so we decided to buy some ground chicken, and we're gonna form them into patties with some Italian seasoning and then stick them between 2 cheddar biscuits.
That's the plan. All right. Let's see what we got here.
So it's ground chicken, not necessarily like a fried chicken breast, like
Correct.
Chick-fil-A style.
Correct.
Both of us have like this little devil on our shoulder being like, panko breadcrumb the patties. Panko breadcrumb the patties.
God, I just keep bonking into everything today.
Do you need a hand?
No, I think I'm okay.
You want me to clean up or anything? So, I don't think we've made a firm decision on whether or not we're panko frying anything today. But
Well, it is panko, it's not going to be deep fried. It's going to be skillet, like
This is
shallow
true.
fried. So I'm doing the classic sort of biscuit folding technique here. This helps layer the biscuits.
oh my goodness, Hoju says corn dog batter the patties. I don't think we've ever corn dog battered anything.
Have not. I do want to try that sometime as making like classic corn dogs.
See, I would want to corn dog the little like Vienna sausages or like cocktail wieners.
That would be a fun experiment. I feel like it's not quite as satisfying as a full-on corn dog.
Well, see, that's the thing, is with a full-on corn dog, you eat one and you're like, okay, I'm good.
Can you switch to the oh, and actually no, I just need to come over here so I can take a look at the recipe for a sec and remind myself how thick these need to be. Half-inch thickness. I'm terrible at estimating, so I'm actually going to measure this.
It's about up to your
So that's about an inch right now.
knuckle on your thumb.
And it's about 3/4 of an inch. I'll go a little bit thinner. And there. Okay, let's get these cut out.
Thinner, thinner, chicken dinner.
I'm actually going to stick these in the fridge quickly, just because I'm paranoid about keeping them cold. If I can find room for a baking sheet. There we go.
That'll do it.
Good enough. You're usually good after about half of a corn dog? I get what you're saying. Especially if the batter is thick. Plus, it could be kind of rich.
I see, that's what I'm saying, is if you do like if you do full-size corn dogs, you get to the end of one and you're like, okay, I should probably stop. But if you do little mini corn dogs, you can have like 3, and it'll be like 1.5 worths of corn dog.
Okay, so if we do that,
But it's just little
we'd have to
guys.
do the wieners with the corn dog batter and then little toothpicks.
Okay.
So you get the full like corn dog on a stick experience.
The stick is very important.
The stick is very important. It is part of the whole thing. The ground chicken into Buster shapes. I am not artistic enough for that.
I'm not either. Yeah, you gotta have the stick to have the corn dog ambiance.
Exactly. And since they're little wiener dogs, they've got to use toothpicks. I guess you could also get like bamboo skewers and like use a knife to cut those into smaller sticks.
And that sounds like a recipe for splinters in your corn dog.
Or you could just have like a giant stick with a tiny little corn dog on the end. Is the bench scraper over there?
This one?
Yeah, that one. Thanks. Neglected to keep my counter floured. Okay, I think we're actually gonna have
6 biscuits?
6, I think. But regardless, it's gonna be one batch of biscuits.
Oh, good.
I'm not gonna need to do 2 batches. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, cool. I'm getting flour all over the kitchen. This is amazing.
Did you need any more of that cheddar, by the way? Did you put cheddar in the biscuits?
Yes, I did. I told you I grated all of it. It was going to be more than we needed.
Oh, okay. I can put that cheddar away then?
Unless you wanted cheddar on your chicken burger.
I don't know. Depends on how we make it.
Okay, let's stick this in the fridge again for one last little bit of cold air. So we've got 8 biscuits.
We got a Korean corn dog place in our neighborhood recently. I got a corn dog from them that was like standard-ish corn dog batter, but then it just had whole yellow potatoes kind of wedged into the corn dog batter. And it was pretty good.
Those look amazing. I still have not tried one of those, but they always look great. I feel like they would be a pain in the neck to make at home. I kind of think you need an actual deep fryer for that.
It's interesting, though. They definitely have some corn dogs that are, like, dusted in cinnamon and other things like that.
Yeah, there are some interesting flavors, for sure. Not so out there that I wouldn't try them. I would totally would try them, but certainly not something I would immediately think of like, oh yeah, that makes sense for a corn dog.
Yeah, there's no, like, watermelon reductions on top of a corn dog or something that is just completely left field, but it is interesting takes.
Alright, actually, you know what? I'm gonna stop there for now. I'm gonna get some buttermilk out and brush the tops of the biscuits with buttermilk and get them in the oven.
Okay.
These are probably gonna take a little bit longer than what the recipe says, since I
Made them bigger?
made them bigger than the recipe said.
Well, I would do the time the recipe said just
Yes.
because you were in a small toaster.
I'm going to. I'm just saying. They may take longer.
And just say the word when you need me out of your kitchen.
No, I appreciate your help. Just don't be surprised if I push you out the way.
Shove.
How long do those biscuits need in the oven?
16 to 20 minutes.
Oh.
You sound surprised.
I was just trying to mentally figure out how much time we had to get ground chicken out, season it, form it into patties, and cook it while the biscuits were doing their thing.
Alright, these are going in. I mean, they don't have to be ready right the moment the biscuits come out the oven.
This is true.
Alright, can you set a 16-minute timer for me? We'll
Of
check
course.
them after that. Like I said, they will probably need longer, but we'll start with the minimum amount in the recipe and give them longer if they need it. So you probably notice I put the biscuits right up next to each other. Sometimes you don't do that in baking because you don't want things to run into each other as they cook. But for biscuits, it helps because they kind of use each other to help rise up. We'll see if it works. I'm worried with how hot it is here in Texas and how hot this kitchen is that the butter may have melted a little bit. We may not get the rise out of them that we want, but we'll see. Biscuits of gravy, yeah, so good.
I was like that close to suggesting we needed gravy today, to be honest.
Usually use a cake pan or casserole dish. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. I could have done that for sure. That's true, dinner rolls work the same way. Yep. Yep. They kind of use each other to kind of climb up. It's kind of cool. Alright, do you want me to take over cleaning? Because there's a bunch of stuff over here that I need to clean up.
Yeah, you know what? I do not want to try and figure out the logistics of cleaning up that lid thingy, so
Okay.
I'm just going to put it on its side.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to clean up the stuff that I got over here so I have a nice clean slate for making the chicken sausages.
Sounds good. Yeah, I didn't know about that biscuit trick, though.
Really? I thought I told you about it before.
Probably.
It's well established that Stuart never listens to me,
What? No.
especially when streaming.
No. It just takes a couple times sometimes.
Before I get started on the chicken, though, I think if those biscuits are cool enough, which I think they are, we'll give one to the doggo.
Oh yeah, these are cool enough.
Cool. Is Stuart gonna try one?
So this is the biscuit we made that is not dog shaped.
Technically, oh yeah, not
dog
dog
bone
shaped,
shaped.
and this is the dog biscuit.
So this is oatmeal, egg, bacon, and cheddar with no sugar and no salt. So let's see how it is. Wow. Yeah, that is the blandest thing you've ever tasted. With a hint of bacon. It's not bad. It's just like, yeah, this is a first time cook who forgot to salt something. Not too bad though. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, the only salt in that, I guess, is from the cheese and the bacon.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, am I having this a little bit?
If you want, or you
Yeah.
can have the other
No,
half.
I want to try it. Dip it in honey mustard. Yeah, what Stuart said. Actually really good. It's like an oatmeal cookie, but no sugar and no salt. Hopefully Buster will like them. We'll do a little bit more cleaning up and then we'll see what he thinks. They are for his birthday, after all. I'm actually glad that they're not overly bacony flavored, because, you know, bacon isn't really the best thing to feed your dog frequently, so I didn't want to go too overboard on it. He's gonna get one in a moment. I'm just gonna clean up the rest of this counter. Someone heard his name. Oh, and he went away again. He said, there's no food here. The thing with baking, especially things that need to be rolled out, makes such a mess. Okay, I think that is good for on-stream purposes. I'm gonna have Stuart be the photographer too, so he can take pictures while I interact with Buster.
And I'm back.
Hello.
Thank you for not giving Buster a treat while I was gone.
No, not, yeah. I wanted your help, so. Alright, shall we see what the doggo thinks?
Of course.
Switch to the doggo cam.
Come on, Buster. Oh, you know what we should do?
What's that?
We should both hold out one.
Well, I'm going to start
Teasing.
with you sit, being there.
You're
No,
kinda-
sit.
There we go.
Sit. Come on, sit. Stay. Look at me. Wait.
These are some very artsy, very cruel pictures Andrew is taking.
I know. Also, the phone does not want to focus on
Do you want me to click it?
the biscuit. Thank you. Alright. Did you want to each hold one? And
No, you go for it. I'm holding the camera so people get a slightly better view than usual.
wait. Actually, what I want you to do is I want you to take pictures while he's going for the biscuit.
Oh, okay.
So we have documentation of him enjoying his birthday treat.
All right, I'm just doing video.
Okay. Wait. Look at me. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he likes that. Oh dang.
He's getting so much of that biscuit in his ears.
Yeah, I just brushed him today too, so he looked pretty.
Choff, 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 choff. I think he likes it.
I would say that's a success. Happy birthday, Buster.
Happy birthday. Enough to drive now.
That's where he's going off to do. He's going off to drive.
You're a designated doggo. Very good boy.
We got a birthday biscuit dinner winner.
He's
Yeah.
like, okay, but can I actually just have my afternoon meal now? Sorry. You like looked to your left a little bit and he was just like up on the counter the second you moved out of the way.
Move this cutting board back. So yeah, there's the rest of the biscuits. They turned out pretty well. The dough was extremely sticky, so it's hard to get a really nice, precise dog bone shape. But Buster likes them. That's what matters. I'll stick the rest of these in a Ziploc bag. Mr. Rev got a thumbs up for his recumbent trike from some bikers on his way home. That's awesome.
Nice. There's always somebody on one of those when we go out to the F1 racetrack on their bike night.
Yeah.
And everybody is always so envious because it's a big racetrack out in the middle of nowhere with no tall buildings around. And on certain turns, there is just the most wind.
Mm-hmm.
And the laid-back trike bikers are lower to the ground, so they're not having to deal with as much wind resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we are all very jealous. Yeah, we had one little bit at the end that didn't have enough dough to make it into a full dog bone mold. So it was just an oval. And both of us tried it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's not so much a bone as it is just an oval piece of dough. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now on for our birthday biscuits. Well, my birthday biscuits, or however you want to word it. Mr. Rav is getting you some peppermint patties, since you're craving chocolate. And they're mostly safe. Nice. Buster will be disappointed to get that one.
It's not the right shape.
Yes. Yes. This is not the shape I'm used to. I refuse to eat it. It is not the correct shape. Somehow I don't think he'll care. Alright, so I got a pound of ground chicken breast. Wish I could have got ground chicken thigh, but they did not have it.
No.
They didn't have to resort to the chicken breast. And since it's a pound, it'll probably yield about 4 patties.
We do have a meat grinder, but we don't use it nearly enough. It's always a big production to get out.
I do want to do that sometime though, Rev, you're right. I think if we weren't making the dog biscuits as well, I would have taken the time to try grinding chicken ourselves today, but for the sake of the biscuits being the focus, I just did store-bought today.
Nice.
Alright, and we'll season this up. I'm going to do kind of like a sort of kind of hot Italian sausage type seasoning.
Oh.
Let's see, I'm going to start with just a melange of Italian spices, herbs, dried herbs. And we'll do some red pepper flakes. I'll measure this out just so I don't go too crazy. You use a pulse chopper. Oh, interesting. Okay. That probably would have been good enough, actually, for today. For us. Okay, that's about a teaspoon. That should be good. And then we'll do some fennel seed, which I don't think I have there. I think it's in the pantry somewhere. Somewhere being the operative word. Oh, there we go. Luckily I remembered the shape of the container. Nice. "20 pulses, or 25 pulses. And it doesn't tear the meat too much. I think that's the biggest issue I have with using like a food processor or a chopper. If the blade isn't sharp enough, you end up tearing the meat instead of grinding it. Completely different consistency than what you usually want. That's why the grinder is good. And it's usually the fat that smears. What else do I want? Maybe some black pepper. You have crushed red pepper in there, so don't need a ton, but a little bit of black pepper might be good. And I think that's good. We'll mix that up. I'm gonna hold off on the salt for now. Oh, garlic. Pureed garlic. Definitely need garlic in there. Okay, now we're ready. Oh, and you use really lean beef. I just saw that. Yeah, so that's not as much of an issue then.
How many patties are you going to make, by the way?
4.
4. Do you need me to cling film the scale?
Nah, I'm just gonna eyeball it. I don't need to.
What?
Don't need it to be exact.
What?
I know, right? Oh,
The
need to check on the biscuits.
First timer on the human treats is ready.
Those are looking really good.
Want to wash your hands and take a closer look?
Yeah, 2 of them are very brown. So I think I need to rotate the pan and give the others a little bit of a chance to brown up a bit, but they're very close.
Nice.
Yeah, those are looking good. I'm also gonna turn down the temperature a little bit. Let's give them 5 more minutes. Okay, let's see if I can get 4-ish balls of meat, and then we will redistribute as necessary. Well, thank you, Rev. I almost feel like if I was going to do something like that, I'll take a look at your link to see what it's like, but I almost feel like I'd want to get another food processor, or at least a replacement blade for my current food processor, because if I was going to use that to cut meat, I want something sharper. It's getting a little on the dull side. It would tear the meat more than cut it up at this point. Alright, so moment of truth. Do we want to do panko?
I think that's your prerogative.
My prerogative? I think we will do panko then.
Oh, I will get the panko breadcrumbs out. Do you want me to get an egg and or flour out?
No. I'm just going to do a bread crust. I'm not going to go overboard with it.
Sounds like a plan. Plate and pour some breadcrumbs out for you. That's all right?
Yep, thank you. That's exactly what I need. Panko! Panko! We're doing it. We're doing it, y'all.
You think that's enough? At least to start with.
Yeah, we might need a little bit more, but that's good to start with. Are we running low on panko?
No, we got...
Oh, okay. The bag sounded like it didn't have much in it.
Nope, these bad boys are pretty airy.
Copan, Copan.
And of course, I am going to put a little bit of salt in here.
Yes, we are not.
And peppering them as well.
We're keeping salt out of Buster's diet, but we have no such concerns for our own diet.
I might even sneak in some garlic powder while Andrew's not looking.
You totally should. That'd be pretty tasty.
Yeah, but I got to do it while you're not looking, or else
You
Andrew
could
will
even
say
do onion
something.
powder since I did garlic puree in the patties.
Why not both? .gif.
Alright, so when Stuart is done with the panko, I think those biscuits are going to be done too when the timer goes off. Let me get a toothpick out so I can check the middles. Nice. If they need longer, I'll need to drop down the heat because they've got a nice,
Dark
wonderfully
brown crust.
golden brown top, but I wouldn't want it to go much further than it is already.
Nice.
You can use the less popular Potco crumbs. Hello. Why did you change it to that? I'm
'Cause
going
there's-
to be getting the biscuits out.
Okay, there was nothing on the cutting board.
Yeah, well, there's going to be momentarily.
Oh yeah. Looking good.
Yeah.
Looks like they got cozy with one another.
They did get cozy with one another, but I mean, that's fine. That's what you want with biscuits.
Hey, they passed the toothpick test.
Nope, just going to give them all a test just to make sure there's none that are hiding raw dough, but nope, that looks good. They are finished. And I got a good bit of rise out of them too. So you can't really see that from this angle.
With all the puns on this channel, we're really good at getting a rise out of one another.
All right. We're in the home stretch. Great thing about ground chicken is it is so moist that you really don't need an egg wash or a milk wash or anything like that for panko. It just sticks kind of naturally to the chicken.
We've also got some broccoli on that cutting board we need to cook.
Yes, we do. That's a good point.
We can do those both at the same time, though. Probably.
You could also roast it, I suppose.
There's not a ton. I think we can do it on the small skillet on the small burner, unless you're worried about that.
Nope. You doing garlic for the broccoli?
Just one single large clove.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna slice it up rather than mincing it.
I'm glad Stuart is remembering these things. Normally I'm all about, like, You'll watch my mailbox screens. I'm all about mise en place. Get everything done up front as much as possible. And I tried to do that today, too. If you
Well,
were
you
here
did shop it.
earlier.
It's literally in view on the camera at this moment.
Yes. But I did forget some things.
No, you're fine.
All right. Chicken patties are panko crusted. They'll add a nice crunch. Sprinkle the remaining panko.
Okay, this is actually a particularly flat piece of garlic. I might mince it up a little bit.
Flop over Mr. Patty. There we go. Nice. Okay. You could probably get a thicker crust of panko if you did use an egg wash and flour and stuff, if that's what you're looking for. But I'm actually kind of a fan of the lighter coating for these chicken patties. We love what you got, Mr. Rev. It's a patty former and it has papers so it doesn't stick, and easy to freeze the patties, chop the meat, weigh it out, and make the patties.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen like those kinds of patty forms, and I've been tempted by them. I always worry, and it sounds like the one that you got with the papers allows it to be pretty neat. I'm always worried it's going to stick to things and be too dense when you form the patties. But that one sounds pretty good. Alrighty. So I think I'm gonna cook the chicken patties in the pan that has some bacon fat and bacon bits left over. Just need a smidge more olive oil.
All right. What was on that?
I have no clue. I honestly have no idea. I may have gotten it out for something. I don't know. My memory is not great when I'm streaming.
Porque. I'm glad I picked out an appropriate amount of panko.
You
Wasn't
did?
too much to waste.
Just a tiny little bit.
Nice.
It actually ended up being the right amount.
Excellent.
I'm gonna get another beer while I wait for pans to warm up. I'll just go with a simple wheat beer. Don't overindulge. You might need a lid for that pan, by the way, if you want to steam the broccoli before it sautés. I'm going to do something on that cutting board in a minute.
Okay, well then I will get all the broccoli off of it. Nice. There's just enough pan for the broccoli.
Thank you.
Oh, what you doing? Are you making a harissa mayo?
I am.
What?
And I also bought some tomatoes to put on top.
Dork.
So let's do a very quick harissa mayo. I was originally thinking we could do a sriracha mayo.
Oh, is this pan supposed to be on?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, we have all this harissa, homemade harissa to use up, and flavors of this would go really well with the chicken and the biscuits, so I'm gonna use this instead. Actually, you probably could turn that on now, by the way, actually.
I thought you mentioned you were waiting for pans to come up to heat.
Well, I was talking mostly about your pan.
Ah.
And then I was thinking what I want to do. Do I want to do this first, or do I want to start cooking the chicken first?
Yep.
I figure I'll knock this out real quick.
I'm just gonna put these biscuits back in the warm oven if you don't mind.
Yeah, I just set them out so that they wouldn't
Continue to bake.
listen to us completing each other's sentences.
We love finishing each other's sandwiches.
We may be doing that too tonight. Alright, nice and quick. I'm also going to cut up the tomato too in advance so that it has a chance to get some salt and pepper on it.
Okay, well this pan is 200 degrees and this one is sounding pretty close. If not there. It is there.
Definitely steamed, yep.
Whoa, no more oil.
Do you want me to get a refill?
Nope, I just want you to watch this.
I'm watching it.
Does it have enough oil?
Yes.
Okay. You can have me slice that tomato if you want to focus on cooking the chicken things, by the way. When I started that broccoli, I didn't realize there was a mayo and a tomato.
No, you're good. Okay. It's all under control. I think we are ready to get that chicken in the pan now.
Cool. Do you need any more olive oil for it? Do you need any more olive oil for that pan?
I'm gonna do a quick plug. Okay.
Oh wow, those are big boys.
They are gonna shrink as they cook.
These are big florets. I'm just observing all of the sizes
You
of things
are.
around me.
Yes, you are. You are a big observer.
No, I'm just getting nervous about this broccoli.
Why?
I don't think I'm doing it well.
You're doing great.
Okay,
I would tell you if you're doing something wrong.
it's a really small pan for some of these pieces.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a smaller pan, but you're good. Don't feel like you need to do any super chefy stuff and try and...
No, I just thought this was going to be one of 2 tasks, not one of 5. Sorry.
Alright, we'll give this chicken a few minutes, and then we'll flip it. think we have all the components ready now.
Yep. How's this looking, Andrew?
Looks awesome.
Okay, I'm worried I'm about to burn it.
No, I mean, charred broccoli is good. Doesn't matter if you burn it.
Okay.
But it's looking good.
Okay.
In fact, actually, that's almost done.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. Those broccolis were soaking up all the oil I could give it, and then we ran out of oil.
Yeah, broccoli loves absorbing oil.
But it looks great. I just got minorly flustered. Can I put this knife away? Thank you.
Yes, you may. Do you want me to turn it off and put a lid on, or just keep it on low?
Keep it on low. It's probably fine.
Okay.
Is that lid clean?
Yep. Cool.
Those are looking good. Glad we did the panko.
Nice golden brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those little darker bits are from the bacon, by the way.
Yep. I mean, people always talk about duck fat bacon, or sorry, duck fat French fries. I feel like bacon fat XYZ needs to be more of a thing. So lend such a porky smokiness to like everything we do it with.
I think maybe the reason why it's not as popular as it is because it does kind of take over the flavor of whatever you cook it with it. It is a very strong flavor.
This is
So
true.
if you don't want everything to taste like smoke and pork, then you don't want to use it.
I suppose so. All right. Do we have any onion left over from this morning?
None of the pre-chopped onion. There is a half onion in there. In one of those many aforementioned plastic containers.
Oh.
If you wanted to slice any of that up.
Where in the world is half of a red chopped onion? Ah, come on, I thought that was pretty good. Oh no, it's chopped on the wrong axes.
Oh no! No rings for you.
How would you recommend doing this?
Probably strips. Would be the next best after rings. Yeah.
That should be good enough for today.
Yeah, definitely. Have some of that burger lettuce too, if there's not enough arugula there.
I think we should be good. Do you mind me starting to get a biscuit out?
Go for it.
Oh, yeah. You're so flaky. In a good way.
What, all these burgers are a single serving? That's a pound of meat. That would be a very impressive single plate. They actually didn't shrink as much as I thought they would, though. Which means they're either going to hang over the edge of the biscuit a little bit, or have to use, like, cut some of the edges off a little bit to make it more presentable.
I was just going to have mine hang over a little bit.
Yeah. And there actually is a smaller one here that would fit closest than the others if you wanted that one.
Now I'll let you use that one for pictures. You can see why I had you get the bigger ring now, though. The ring mold?
Oh, the ring mold. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Alright, I think these are done. Got a nice golden brown on both sides. But yeah, you definitely made a good call with the larger ring mold. And I'm glad they didn't take significantly longer to make.
Indeed. Can I get this one?
Yep.
Is this the fabled smaller one?
I think the one of the in front of it is slightly smaller.
Ah, I just realized I put it on top of a tomato. Not the most stable platform.
Careful, it is hot out of the pan. Oh, Stuart's putting more bacon on his bacon cheddar biscuit.
What? You knew there was bacon to the side. Ah. Alright, this may be overstuffed.
Looking good. That is a tall, you can't tell from that angle, but it is a tall burger.
Definitely a fork and knife affair.
Yeah, or, you know, just be prepared to have a few napkins on standby. Poor portion control when you're in your 20s. That's a lot of chicken.
Napkins on standby is my Jimmy Buffett cover band.
Okay.
His cheeseburgers in paradise are very messy, Andrew.
Ah, I see where you're going with that reference now. That's not the song he's known for, though. He's known for his margaritas. You want a spoon?
Nope. How'd a guy go overboard? Ah. Okay. Oh my god. It's too big.
I don't know if you want to try showing it off on the
I'll do it in a sec.
the other camera. Get a sense of the height.
It's so tall. My goodness. What have I done?
What have you wrought?
This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful bird. You may find yourself asking, my God, how did I get here? Ah, Andrew's doing a knife. I was a fine southern gentleman and used the fork to pry open the side of my biscuit.
Yes, yes. I'm tempting to do this in the hope that it would make an even platform.
Nope.
Not sure if I really succeeded in that, but anyway.
Flaky buddies need treated with kindness and respect. And a fork. I'm teasing. As you saw, I had many difficulties with my sandwich.
Okay, let's see. Definitely a bit of overhang on these burgers, but that's okay. I do hesitate a little bit to call them burgers, because I guess technically they're burgers, but
they're chicken biscuits.
I guess they are chicken biscuits.
I don't know if they traditionally get dressed up with burger accoutrement, but I'd say in this circumstance they can support it.
These are tall boys.
That's all right. You're like, what, 6'3"? Used to tall boys in my life.
I am not 6'3".
I'm kidding. Andrew's 2 inches taller than me, but he still feels like a giant sometimes.
I always find sandwiches really difficult to take photos of. It's hard to see all of the goodness inside.
I feel like there should be a Kingdom Hearts quote about seeing the goodness inside of things. If we could all just get along, we could take better pictures of our sandwiches. See the goodness inside.
Alright, let me see if I can get one more picture before I give up. It's tough because part of me wants to show the top of the biscuit because it's got that really nice golden brown cheesy crust. But if I do that, you can't really see what's inside. You can't see the structure of the sandwich. Yeah, good enough. So you saw the doggo biscuit. Here is the human biscuit with a very large piece of chicken in the middle. Some tomatoes, some red onions, some arugula, a little bit of harissa mayo. I'm gonna live dangerously and just take a big bite out of it.
Cut off the overhang of mine.
Fork and knife not required. See, that's a good picture. If I could get a picture just like that, that's a good way of seeing everything that's inside of it. All right, here we go. Man. That is good. You know, I'm actually a little surprised because the chicken patty has a ton of flavor. The Italian seasoning, the fennel, the red pepper flake with a little bit of bite. That's almost more flavorful than the biscuit. And the biscuit's got bacon and cheese in it. That kind of surprises me. But the flavors go really well together. Like, you do get a little bit of the cheesiness in the bacon, just not as much as I was expecting. Like, bacon, like I was saying earlier, tends to take over flavor-wise, but it's actually kind of subtle on this one. That's very tasty, though. That's really good. That's a really good biscuit sandwich. And then we got a little bit of broccoli on the side just to try to be healthy. I think the whole family is biscuit happy tonight. Buster got his cheddar bacon, we got our cheddar bacon. I need to actually remember that combo. I wasn't sure how well those flavors would go well together on that biscuit, but it turned out excellent. So, cool. Thank you all for hanging out today. It is Buster's birthday on Monday, so we will not be streaming on his birthday. But please send him birthday wishes on Twitter or Discord. I'm sure he will appreciate it. I'll show him every one. He will try licking it, probably, but he will like it.
This tastes amazing. Oh my god.
Stuart loves it. The food, that is. I'm glad he likes it. Cool. So yeah, we'll be back since, so Buster unfortunately is getting his birthday on a non-stream day, but we treated him today. But we'll be back on Tuesday. In fact, next week I think is going to be a usual week. Tuesday, Thursday, Mealbox streams. I guess if there's anything unusual, next Sunday we're going to do our next beer. So that's a little different than what we usually do. But it's kind of a fun stream. So I hope you can join us for that, especially if you're curious about how beer is made. Let's see. Let's see if we can go raid someone. So yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for joining us on our little unusual day. Don't usually stream on Saturdays. But yeah, normal schedule next week. Let's see. Man, the thing about streaming on a day you're not used to streaming is you see a whole bunch of streamers that you don't recognize when you finish up. Just checking out a couple streams, but of course there are ads, so I'm gonna sit through the ads. Because I think I know who I'm gonna stream, but need to double check before I pull the trigger. There's been a couple times I've started a raid and then the person on the stream has been like, "We're signing off, bye." Okay, yeah, let's see who else we can. John's doing an outdoor, travel and outdoor stream. I'm not quite sure what he's up to, but why don't we go say hello to John? Outdoor streams can be entertaining because you get to see the area where streamers are, what they're up to. Hopefully we'll get to do more ourselves when the temperature cools off a bit here. We'll do some more cycling streams around Austin. But it needs to be a little bit cooler before we do that. Our All right, thank you all again for hanging out. I hope to see you on Tuesday evening with a meal box stream. But yeah, until then, have a great rest of your weekend, great start to your week, and stay well, and we'll see you soon. Bye.